Okay, YouTube should be back. Second for people to figure that out. Get in here, etc. And I will keep an eye on it. Sorry to the Twitch people, but thank you for your patience. Hey, okay. Power's back. The moment it says excellent stream status, so crossing fingers, we should be good. At least for now. I took a screenshot so I remember what the errors were. Oh shoot. Hold on. I gotta update my... I just realized that multi-chat is not... doesn't know what I'm doing. Okay. That should have fixed multi-chat. Guess we'll know in a second. Okay, thank you for the YouTube sub. I appreciate that. Okay, I just had to make sure it was showing up in multi-chat before I forgot to look again. All right. That was a little mini side quest there. I'm glad we seem to have it fixed for the moment, though. Crossing fingers, knocking on wood. I'm not going to say that too many times because I'm a little afraid of jinxing it at the moment. Woohoo! Okay. Sorry about the detour, everybody. Please be fixed. It's fixed. Yay! Thank you for letting me know, by the way. Okay. So I'm between options 4 and 5, really. I'm leaning toward 5. Although, Copper votes for option 4. I'm curious to hear why, unless it's spoilery, in which case, I guess don't tell me why. I was about to say I'm leaning toward 5 a little bit for 2 reasons. The main reason is that she didn't seem to care as much when I said the thing about turning Jedi into Sith. That didn't seem to hit as hard as I kind of thought it would. Like, she didn't really seem to care. Which makes me wonder if maybe number 4 wouldn't hit quite as hard. Oh, I was nomming on a Nutty Buddy. Now it's just a piece of hard candy, but what I was eating earlier was a Nutty Buddy. I feel like they're both kind of direct callouts, but one is calling her out on truly having fallen to the dark side, which I think part of her already knows. And she's at least telling herself she doesn't care. Or that it's justified or whatever. going with if you murdered them out of revenge, then admit it, calls her out on what might have been a slip of emotion here. It kind of zeroes in on that, calls her out on it, while also pointing out pretty directly how not brilliantly strategic her decisions have been. It basically, it takes that little emotional slip, or what might have been an emotional slip, zeroes in on that and just bluntly goes, yeah, so you're not smart, you're just stupid and vengeful. Kind of. Also, I won't lie, it does it is kind of fun knowing that I think it's at least 2 people in chat haven't seen option 5. Obviously, I haven't seen any of them. So if I'm torn between the two anyway, like, they're very close. K2's right. She doesn't really seem too bothered by the Sith title at this point. But that's really the only downside of 4, I guess, or potential downside. But given all of that, I would have already been leaning toward option 5. But even if it was a straight tie, the fact that other people get to see an option they've never seen before, despite you guys having played this game a lot, kind of fun. Okay, we finally narrowed it down. Unless KOTOR wanted to make an argument for number 4. Because you did say that twice. If it's spoilery reasons because you've seen what happens before, then don't tell me. I'll probably end up going with 5 and then tell me afterwards what happened. But if it's like unrelated to the outcome, a reason to go with 4, I'm happy to hear it. Oh, just saying 4 because you hate her. You know what? Fair and valid. Completely fair and valid at this point. You murdered them out of revenge, then admit it.
They were not Jedi. It was not murder. Who are these Jedi who survived the Jedi Civil War? They're not the Jedi I know, the ones I once worshipped. They are cowards, and doubters, and afraid. What manner of Jedi hide from a threat? Who turn on their own, and imprison them on dead worlds?
Okay, how come I don't get a follow-up to that? There was so much there that could have been followed up on. What the hell? Oh yeah, loads of projection. I'm still... Oh hey, Stream Elements bot. Finally caught up and figured out the sub. I'm still a little baffled by the basically run-on sentence of they were not Jedi, it was not murder. Like, okay, are you saying that... First off, we're back to the whole Atrus is the true arbiter of Jedi. Yeah, that one can wait till after stream, I think. Commands can be on a 20-second delay. That's fine. Or a 2-minute delay, or whatever it is. That does not matter nearly as much. But aside from the part where that automatically implies that she is the arbiter of what counts as a Jedi anyway. Is she implying that normal people can't be murdered? They weren't... I don't remember which one came first, but it was like... I don't know if the subtitles had a comma, but there was no comma in the way she said it. It was like, they were not Jedi, it was not murder. Like, the two things are directly related. To this day, it's just a schizophrenia rambling. Confuses the shit out of me. Yeah. Truly makes you reconsider using the word delusion lightly, though, because most things we apply the word delusion to don't hold, like, a single match. I was going to say a candle, but a match is even smaller. Don't hold a match to the delusion she's got going on. She's like the quintessential definition of delusion. Normal people's murders don't count like Jedis do, apparently. Just not important. Implying they weren't Jedi because they went to fight in the Mandalorian War, and therefore they were no longer Jedi. Or they didn't matter. Wait, I thought we were talking about the Jedi on KOTOR. Are we not talking about the Jedi on KOTOR still? Cognitive dissonance personified. Yes. Yes, that. 1000% that. I thought we were talking about her murdering everybody on KOTOR. She went from, I had to use them as bait to lure out the Sith. Because I'm that brilliant. Whatever. All the way to, they weren't even Jedi. It wasn't even murder. With it kind of being implied, even if it's accidental and unintended, that because they weren't Jedi, it doesn't count as murder, which is a whole can of worms all on its own. Kind of ironic to say we don't have time for this after that entire conversation, but it also feels a little dumb to be like, we need to unite to stop the Sith, when clearly she doesn't give a shit about stopping the Sith. She's made that quite clear. But I'm still kind of curious what she's going to say. And since I don't get any options to, like, question her on any of the chain of spew, she just spewed. Spewed? It's a word now. A small amount of Jedi that fought in the Mandalorian War that were allowed to stay, which is stupid and hypocritical, but they don't make that known. Oh, interesting. So what you're saying is there could have and very well might have been some of the Jedi who went to war on KOTOR. Just not the whole group, or even, I would imagine, the majority of them. Hey, Trish, we don't have time for this. We need to unite to stop the Sith. Yes, I got you.
Yes, the Sith are here at last. You have brought them to this place as I had foreseen. It has all been part of my plans for you. And when I defeat you and the forces you have brought to Telos, I shall take the battle to the heart of the Sith and wipe them out forever.
What plans are you talking about?
These Sith are cowards, striking from the shadows to kill Jedi. I needed a target to draw them out, but I could not risk my own life. All that remained of the Jedi. So I arranged for you to return to the Republic, leaked information of your past, and then waited for the Sith to come. And they did. But you came to Telos against my predictions. Now they are here, I can finally face this enemy and defeat them.
Literally the only thing that can be said about this woman. He certainly lacks no confidence whatsoever. The point of blind idiocy. Hey. Insufferable hypocrite. Yep. Wouldn't it be funny if they gave me the option to be like, oh, I didn't call them here, Kreia did. I wasn't even planning on being here, but... In fact, Kreia is the reason I'm here. She's also the reason the Sith are coming here. Instead of going, I guess, Dantooine. And they're coming to prepared to take on an entire bustling academy full of young, energetic Jedi, which means you're going to be a little outgunned, just a wee bit. Shame I can't rock her world with any of those minor factoids. Cuddles, is that why you've been napping? You want some after nap cuddles? What a cutie. You show off your little Christmas bow? He is so soft. He is the softest cat I have ever met. He feels more like a rabbit, like the texture of like rabbit fur, than he does any cat I've ever pet before. Trying to get close enough that you can see his little Christmas bow tie here. She leaked your information into the Republic? Who, Idris or Kreia? Information has a little dog who's soft like that too. That's awesome. I love it. Gets everywhere. Like, he sheds this super fine, like, floof, like dust. And he never stops. Winter, summer, does not matter. Just little clouds of floof just everywhere. But he's so soft, it's okay. Oh, yeah. I think I knew that. No, not washing. Cats don't need baths quite like dogs do unless there's like some medical condition or something that calls for it. Or like, I don't know. Maybe if they get like really bad fleas or something. I don't really know, but they don't. They pretty much do their own baths for the most part, unless they get like insanely dirty somehow. But usually they're pretty good at handling that themselves. Brushing, I should brush him more than I do, but Redman, thank you for redeeming the ghost sighting. That's you. They want more of you. Little head bonk here. Let's see. Or which camera or which scene I fixed. I don't have the cat cam turned on, so we'll just use the settings. Okay. Thank you. Easy. Gentle. A bit rough. A bit rough. Look at that shiny bow tie. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Cats have built-in bath machines, don't you? Huh? Built-in brushes, too, although we try and help out whenever we get a chance with the actual brush, because that's a lot of fur to digest. Getting a cat for Christmas? That's awesome. Okay. You can kind of tell how long his fur is just based on how easily it starts covering that bow tie. And I have the collar on extra loose so that it'll kind of pull itself out of his fur. Like, usually the collar is supposed to be so you can fit 2 fingers under it. I actually currently have it so I can fit 3 fingers under it, just so that the bow tie has more room to, like, not get swallowed by fluff. Yep. Yep. But he's fluff. Like, hey, stop it. He's like not long haired, but he has, I guess he has an undercoat, or he's like mostly undercoat. I think there are 3 different layers that cats can have, and most short hair cats don't have an undercoat at all. That's really, really fine. I think that's why he's so soft, is because he's mostly undercoat. Which is also why his shedding sticks to everything, because it's like tiny little wisps of cotton that just like drift through the air because there's like no weight to them, so they just cling to everything. Okay. Thank you, Redman, for the ghost sighting. The second time they just like leaked info and put people in danger because you determined it was necessary. Yeah, although leaking my Jedi records into the Republic would be like infinitesimally less severe, right? Literally doxed the exile, yeah, basically. But I unless there's an aspect to that I'm forgetting. That would be like infinitesimally as bad, right? Like not nearly to the same scale as, you know, all of KOTOR. I'm still saying option 1 doesn't make any sense and it's contradictory, but I haven't been given the whole contradict her assumption that I'm here to fight her thing again. So I'm kind of trying to get as close as I can to achieving the same goal with other dialogue, if that makes sense. Not as bad, but same tactic, yeah. And same motivation, yeah. Because it's more or less a failure, yeah. Yeah, I would say that pretty much failed. Unless, I guess, the goal was to quote-unquote punish the Jedi, in which case, I guess technically she succeeded at that. But all of her other stated goals, yeah, were not accomplished. Will not fight you. Surrender and I will spare you.
Surrender? To you? Never. Let us end this.
What a shocker. I am so surprised that this happened. And I gotta remember which of my forms does what again. I think that's my best anti-Jedi one, right? It's the anti-everybody but Jedi. Oh, contention actually also saves against force powers. +3, she's wielding a lightsaber. She's wielding my lightsaber, in fact, just to be specific. Wield the vision of the exile, which is why I just used the exile second time to beat the Sith. Enclave on KOTOR didn't really reveal the Sith themselves. No, it didn't reveal them. I mean, she succeeded in drawing them out because they destroyed the planet, but it didn't really, like, reveal the nature of the threat, right? Blaster bolts. This one. This one is just +3 damage. So, the damage bonus is listed right after the attack modifier. Does that mean that it only applies to lightsaber damage, or does it not being specified mean that it applies to any damage I do? Not that it really matters that much, I guess. Since there's currently nobody in here shooting at me, so there's not really any reason not to go with this one, I guess. K2 says, "Formation, I just want to take a moment and say that I've been having a lot of fun going back and forth with you, but I've gotten to interact with such a thoughtful person." Yay! I love my community. You guys are all awesome. I like it when people make new friends in my chat. That's awesome. Okay, so we're just gonna stick with contention then. Because why the fuck not at this point? What belt was I wearing before? Probably that one. That's also probably not... Ah. %20 damage immunity versus dark side might be the way to go, actually. Of all the times for the stream elements bot be brilliant on the timing. Discord link in chat. We have an entire Game Talk channel just for such discussions with like-minded folks. I love this community too. It's awesome. You guys are wonderful. I am very grateful you all decide to hang out here. Trying to remember what I had equipped before the skill system, but I think it was the persuasion pheromone thingy. Speaking of persuasion. Okay, just checking. 34. Pretty good. Oh my god, that was... Okay. That was fast. I mean, I know she's never been in a battle before, but also... Everything about this setup screams boss battle to every gamer instinct in me. I forgot. Boy, welcome in. Forgot how nutty the modifiers in this game get. Plus 35 to hit on every lightsaber attack and 29 AC. Yep. The Jedi from KOTOR to Faerun and they'd be OP. Oh my god, yes. See how insane min-max spells in this game get? Oh yeah, and I was not min-maxing. I was following recommendations, but most of that was related to like getting enough skill points and stuff. Not min-maxed at all. Yeah, everything, all of my experience from every video game I've ever played, this scenario screams boss battle. I kind of forgot for a second that she was a freaking librarian. Of course she can't fight for shit. I'm a little confused about what number 2 means in terms of action. There's the I won't kill you. There's the I'm going to kill you right now. Is number 2 just I have to kill you but with justification? Or is it... That's what I'm wondering, is if it's like locking her up or something. Something between being like, okay, you're helpless, I guess you can go, or whatever the next step to that is, and I'm gonna murder you on the spot. Formation has a one-track mind tonight. Is there an option to kiss her? Actually, I say one-track mind, but I'm pretty sure both the times you said that were about Atris, weren't they? There's my fanfic. Option 2 refers to either killing her or imprisoning her. That makes sense, but which one? Because I feel like there's a big difference there. In fact, I feel like the difference is arguably dark side points or not dark side points, depending on which one it is. I will say, a kiss is the one comeback she definitely would not see coming. Okay. I'm just gonna make it a straight yes or no question to chat. Does option 2 result in killing her? Does anybody know? Because anything other than killing her, I'm probably gonna go with that. The only reason I'm really hesitating is because I don't know if it just means killing her but adding a tiny spritz of justification in there. And I feel like if I kill her, I'm going to get dark side points, and also... As much as I loathe her, and I would very much love to never have to hear her delusions ever again. And 2 says killing is too good for her. I see. I say neutral and dark side. My only other question: do I actually like mechanically get light side points for going with option number 1? If I don't, I'm definitely going with option number 2. If I do actually get light side points, I might be tempted to go with option number 1 just so that I get my cool portrait, like, pillar of light back before the end of the game. As ridiculous a reasoning as that is literally the only reason. So I was checking on YouTube. Okay. I was really only waiting to see if somebody knew whether I would get light side points for number 1, because that would be the only reason I would really go with number 1. As silly as that may be, it is the truth. After everything you've done, I'm not letting you off that easy.
If you will not kill me, then what will you do?
Actually, I was lying, prepare to die. I had to check the wiki. Aw. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very creepy. It's also kind of funny that I got back to the start of what happened to you. Based on other conversations in this game, I'm assuming... Yeah, 4 is hilarious. I'm assuming that 1 is just going to take me in the same loop all over again. Because that seems to be what happens with all the other conversations with people that I have. But it's a little unfortunate because it would be really funny after I beat her to a pulp in like 2 hits and then said I wasn't going to kill her to make her go through the round of questioning all over again. That's true. Suppose we could always back out if... Oh, okay. Okay. They shouldn't have made so many repetitive questions, like so many dialogues in this game. They'll give you a list of questions and they'll just cycle through them endlessly. And there'll be like no... whatever the dialogue equivalent of object permanence is, the NPC has none. Because it's like, you'll ask them something, then if you circle back around, they'll act as though you're asking it for the first time. Like, almost every time. So I feel like it'd be very easy to just assume that was the case with this one. But if it's not, what happened to you?
This knowledge of the Sith and the Jedi is what I am. It is my attempt to hold on to the past, to try and protect the future.
That's why you gathered these Sith relics?
I sought to preserve the knowledge of the Jedi, and to do that I needed to know the Sith, in order to stop them. Once I was a historian, the chronicler of the Jedi, and when both wars passed me by, I was determined that I would not forsake battle again. In some part of me, I knew I had made choices, compromises, but always for the sake of the Republic, of the galaxy. To do what you had done, at times, did not seem so wrong.
Not to mention your own ego. Don't forget about that one. She's a bit more self-reflective after getting your ass beat. Yeah, we'll do that to you. Maybe my folly is trying to understand her at all. Maybe that's my first mistake. I'm trying to wrap my head around how she considers what she just said, being a historian, trying to preserve knowledge, trying to get knowledge of the Sith in order to know how to defeat them. Also, getting an entire race of people on a whole ass planet wiped out, along with a huge majority of the living Jedi, by literally giving their location to the Sith on basically a silver platter. All of that, I'm trying to figure out how she's reconciling that with it didn't seem wrong to do what you had done. What the fuck does she think I did that's even like an... I'm not saying that what I did at Malachor wasn't horrendous, but it's not even in... Not only is it not even in the same ballpark, it's a different ball game. It's a completely different sport. So how are these two things equating in her head? It's hard to understand her from the rationale of a sane person. She's very broken mentally. Okay, I mean, that's fair. Like I said, maybe my folly was trying at all to begin with, but kind of interesting. Also befuddling, but kind of interesting. Yeah, that she doesn't feel the guilt of what she's done is definitely clear. Everything that occurred at Malachor, everything that occurred in the war was because there was no other choice.
To fight such a threat, sometimes one's choices seem narrower than they are, until it seems there is no solid foundation on which to stand. I feel that I understand what drove you to battle, to fight the Mandalorians. It was something you could not turn away from.
Well, based on our last conversation about it, you are dead-ass wrong. Because we've had this conversation. And I basically hammered it into your thick delusional skull for 3.5 hours. That all the reasons you're convinced I went to fight the Mandalorians had nothing to do with why I actually went to fight the Mandalorians. Culminates in her weird bastardized morality and rationalizations for actions. Yeah. She also worshipped the idea of the Jedi, not the Jedi she viewed as cowards. Which seems to only be her idealized image of herself. Not even necessarily how she really sees herself, because I think subconsciously she's maybe not guilt, but I think subconsciously, if not consciously, she sees herself as someone who's had to take unideal paths and make hard sacrifices to do what's necessary, right? Like kind of a noble virtue martyr, so to speak, in that she nobly let her own virtue get martyred for the sake of saving the Jedi or whatever. But I think she's the only person who would even come close to what she considers the idea of the Jedi. The difference between Atrus and the Exile is the Exile went to war for selfless reasons. Atrus does the thing she does because of her own guilt and self-loathing. Yeah. And ego. Whether it's hurt ego or needing to feed her ego. I have a feeling it's a little bit of both. Guilt and self-loathing? Guilt over not going to war, you mean? I guess that could be. I really hope I get to ask both of these first ones. I wish I could point out for the millionth time in this game, what feels like the millionth time, that I feel that I understand what drove you to battle. No, you fucking don't. Because you weren't listening to me the last time we had this conversation, and you were wrong then. So chances are excellent that you are still very much wrong now. She selfishly holds herself to the standards of the Exile. She hates herself because she's not the Exile, but she tries to become the Exile through the actions that she deems are necessary. I guess that makes sense. Guilt over the sacrifices she's had to make? K2, are you talking about Exile or Atrus? Because I won't lie, I am not detecting a lot of guilt over KOTOR from Atrus. In fact, I haven't picked up on any, honestly. Guilt over not having the strength to fight in the war. That makes more sense. The whole I won't let another war pass me by thing, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I really hope I get to ask both of these. Can you tell me where the Sith are striking from?
You always knew where they were striking from. You always knew. These Sith are spawned of you. Spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths. All those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life. Until nothing is left except a hollow galaxy, echoing with the screams of the Jedi lost to us.
Well, you fed them a whole lot of them, so don't get too self-righteous on me. Sacrifices she made, KOTOR were to compensate for her guilt. Personal sacrifice for the sake of the Jedi, yeah. It's very creepy. Is that where Kreia has gone?
Yes. I had thought she was awaiting me at that place, but I see now that she lied. It was not meant for me, but for you. She has gone there. She is waiting for you to travel to Malachor 5, to finish what you started.
Okay, is this one a loop, or is there actually a new answer here? I don't know when they're going to cut me off from asking questions. Presumably, eventually. Is this time when they're saying what happened to you a loop, or is it Yesterday when you beat the game, you forgot about the Sith holocron, so you got jump scared by them. Kreia lied again. How unexpected. Right? My opinion, it just had an idealized version of the exile in her head, similar to how Kreia held Revan in such high regard. The issue is the exile isn't Revan, but Aegis thinks the exile is like Revan, so Aegis adopts the ends justify the means philosophy of Revan. Fundamental misunderstanding of the exile's character. That's a good way of putting it. Right. I was just wondering if asking her what happened to you again for the third time actually did anything different this time. I could have just clicked on it, I suppose.
This knowledge of the Sith, it is my attempt to hold on.
Yeah, okay. Ooh. But that means I do get to try other... It was not your responsibility. This knowledge is forbidden and there's a reason it is kept safe.
Once I was a historian.
No,
the
same thing.
chronicler of the Jedi. And when both wars passed me by, I was determined that I would not forsake battle again. In some part of me, I knew I had made choices, compromises, but always for the sake of the Republic, of the galaxy. To do what you had done, at times, did not seem so wrong. To fight, I feel...
Read that part before.
You always
Skipping the
knew
creepy
where
part
they were
this time.
striking from. You always knew. These Sith are spawned of you. Spawned by the Mandalorian Wars. All those deaths. All those Jedi. Their power is to feed on life. Until nothing is left except a hollow galaxy, echoing with the screams of the Jedi lost to us. Yes, I had thought she was awaiting me at that place, but I see now that she lied. It was not meant for me, but for you. She has gone there. She is waiting for you to travel to Malachor 5, to finish what you started.
In case it doesn't show up in the journal, I gotta screenshot it. What I started?
Yes, you are an echo in the Force. A hollow space where it has been wounded. It takes a great act of destruction to create such emptiness. But it can be done. It creates places where the Force is difficult to hear, and difficult to find one's way. And you carry it with you, always.
What does this have to do with Kreia?
Now she seeks to create another echo, a wound in the Force. Greater than the one before, greater than the one you caused. It will deafen all touched by the Force until no life is left. You were strong enough to withstand it once, but few have your strength in such matters, especially if they are unprepared.
I caught myself almost listening to her because she's doing something other than actively calling me a Sith at the moment, I guess. And then I remembered, I assume she's still at least somewhat delusional. So I can't assume she's correct about this. I mean, she might be, but the game has firmly established that she is out of her friggin' mind. Why would Kreia do that?
I do not know, but she needs you there. If you choose not to follow, she will murder herself at the heart of Malachor, and you will die along with her.
Oh my god, so many good questions. Hope I get to ask all of them. Why?
You're important to her somehow, but I...
Creepy bullshit.
But I do not know for certain.
Ah. See if 34 persuasion is enough. You know, tell me.
She is willing to sacrifice herself at the heart of that graveyard world for you. A choice others have made in the past. A choice I wish to make. It is because I care for you, and I suspect that you alone hold that place in her heart where nothing else lives. And that is why you are the only one who can stop the destruction to come.
Mission a series on Krea's ultimate motivations too, because there's the obvious answer, but then there's what I think true answer. It's evidenced by bits and pieces throughout the game. Wait to hear that. I assume that's an after endgame conversation though, based on spoilers and such. So, just to make sure I'm keeping up, because it is 1:30 in the morning. Atrus is saying that Krea is going to go kill herself and therefore me on Malachor because I'm the only thing she cares about? i.e. be prepared for schizo rambling that will make Atrus jealous. Another kiss moment, maybe? She would sacrifice herself for you. I'm just confused about... I feel like I'm supposed to be making the connection of how that is for me. How that is, in any way, doing something for me. And the connection is not coming. And I don't know if it's because I'm dumb, or because it's 1:30 in the morning, or because I missed a major detail, or I forgot a major detail, possibly all of the above. I can tell you so badly, but I don't know if it's considered a spoiler or not. If it's something I should already know, based on context, because I do only play once a week, so it's really easy to like forget little details and like information gained from cutscenes that, you know, might have happened 3 planets ago, but in real life happened 3.5 months ago. That stuff's easy to forget. If it's something I should already know at this point in the game, by all means tell me. If it's something I'm not necessarily supposed to have figured out yet, then I would probably consider it a spoiler. Without knowing the context, that's the best definition I can give you. Game tells me next week. Okay. Krea says, why would she do such a thing?
She seeks the death of all Jedi, all Sith, and the death of the Force. It is madness. It is impossible. But she believes you are the key.
I'm sorry, the second option. Given that we've been through her cutscene of her and her Sith apprentices at least 3 times, that's impossible. How could I not tell she was Sith? I freaking knew she was Sith. She was also Jedi at one point. Like, this is not a secret. Oh, what, that she was Sith? Or that she wanted the death of the Force? I'd done known she was Sith for, like, a hot minute now. The death of the Force part is news to me. Death of the Force?
There are places in the galaxy dead to the Force where nothing lives, where the echoes travel forever and do not reach their destination. And these places may be created, even from the simplest of events, the slightest of motions. One person, at the right place, at the right time, can change the face of the galaxy, or end it.
Krea's a woman? Krea wants to absolutely destroy the Force. The key to destroying the Force forever. Gotcha. Yeah, that one was news to me. So now my questions are all things I can't possibly know yet. So, rhetorical questions for chat, but as in not real questions, just thinking out loud questions. But now I'm thinking, so if the two creepy evil Sith dudes were her apprentices, but then they beat her up and threw her out, because we've seen that cutscene quite a few times now. The way she spoke about the one not being a man anymore, being like a monster that just, or a black hole, essentially. The horse's name was Friday. I'm trying to remember in more detail how she spoke about that, because I definitely got the impression she spoke about that as though going around eating the Force was a bad thing, you know, a thing to be stopped. Granted, I guess she kind of had to say that, because the alternative wouldn't have gotten me on board, but why would I matter?
You're important to her somehow, but I... But I do not know for certain.
We've been here before, but I swear this is a different question that caused it. You know, tell me.
She is willing to sacrifice herself at the heart of that graveyard.
Not a new answer, though.
For you. A choice others have made in the past. A choice I wish to make. It is because I care for you, and I suspect that you alone hold that place in her heart where nothing else lives. And that is why you are the only one who can stop the destruction to come.
Yeah, him. He was one of Krea's apprentices, right? One of the two guys in the vision of her past, where she got, like, beat up and thrown out. Practical reasons why nihilists must be stopped for sure. There are philosophical reasons for why Krea hates both nihilists and Scion.
She seeks the death of all Jedi, all...
It's a dumb question, because I definitely knew she was Sith, but I want to see what she's going to say anyway. That's impossible. How could I not tell she was Sith?
Because the Force had been stripped from her, as it had been torn from you. At times, I wonder what we would be if the Force was taken from us. If we would truly be Jedi or Sith, or simply human.
This is a question I haven't had before, I don't think. You bring about the death of the Force.
There are places in the galaxy dead to the Force where
maybe I did
nothing
ask that one
lives,
before.
where the echoes travel forever and do not reach their destination. And these places may be created, even from the simplest of events, the slight. One person, at the right place, at the right time, can change the face of the galaxy, or end it.
Hold on, is that last state from Matrix? Last statement? Oh, fuck. You're testing my 1:40 a.m. after a day at work brain. Oh, the would we be Jedi or Sith, or would we just be human? Gotcha.
You're important, but I do not.
I know we're going in circles.
She seeks.
Yeah, we're definitely going in circles.
And the one.
Just wanted to verify.
But I. It is
smaller and smaller circles, it would seem. Heard enough. This matter's finished.
And what will you do with me now? Abandon me here on this dead world? Or end my life as I wish to end yours?
Oh, the irony. Keep it in mind for next session. Gotcha. The irony being like, you'll answer for your crimes before the council. Saying this to the woman who considers herself the last Jedi. Oof. Leaves the battles to those who have the strength to fight them. Ouch. That's a zinger. Oof. So is that one. She'll leave you here to these holocrons. They are Sith. They do not abide failure. Ouch. I know. That's why it's funny. What council? Just choose option 1 and then kiss her. God damn it, not again. Not again what? Me overthinking dialogue? I am almost done, I promise. I'm mostly debating between 1 and 2. As much as 4 and 5 are quite spiteful zingers. I think I'm mostly leaning toward 2. Because it kind of... Oh. God damn it, not again. The thoughts about kissing Aegis. Gotcha. Gotcha, that makes more sense. I need you to see what you've become and turn away from it. Kind of explores both possibilities. And her response might give me an idea of how likely that is. The whole leave you with the holocrons, they're Sith and they don't abide failure thing, combined with the fact that they kept chiming in. Well, they chimed in 2 other times that I think were different. But the one time they were chiming in repeatedly was right before the persuasion, which kind of makes me wonder 2 things. It makes me wonder if she's being actively influenced and maybe separating her from the holocrons would vastly increase the likelihood that she actually could see what she'd become and turn away from it. But I forgot what the other side was. Lost half my point midway through. I feel like she's too... Her stupidity combined with her arrogance makes her dangerous. I feel like it makes her too dangerous to actually do nothing with. The only thing that's making me consider option 1 is whether the shock of hearing these words come out of my mouth would kind of jolt her back to her senses in terms of like light-sightedness, I guess. Like give her that final push. Don't think she should be in prison. She can't learn anything. I would agree with that. Which is primarily why I'm considering the first two. Nothing feels like a major risk and likely a tactical error. Except for the fact that the rest of the line could potentially break her down enough for her to actually turn away from the dark side. If that makes sense. Because it kind of strikes at the core of everything that's driven her so far. And she wouldn't be expecting it coming from me. Which adds to the punch of it. I might, as irritating as she is, I might be talking myself into the first option. I need you to see what you've become and turn away from it is good because it gives her the offer without committing to what I'll do if she says no. But it doesn't give her that push to actually do it, if that makes sense. One definitely gives her the push to actually do it. It just also commits to doing nothing, which means that if it fails to break her down and get her to turn away from the dark side, then I'm leaving problems behind me to cause more problems, potentially. She did say wished to end, past tense. Credit to her for that much, I guess. How much am I committing to the angelic path is kind of where this feels like. I mean, either way, I think I'm choosing a good option. It's just how hard I'm gambling on it. Somehow we found gambling again. It's not even Pizak. God, I hope this line works like Hallmark movie level miracles. Yeah. If she used past tense, she's already starting to see who she is and turning away from it. Yes. The thing is, if I go with option 2, I'm not sure if I can, even if I believe whatever she says in response, I'm not sure I can trust that it'll stick, if that makes sense. Like, even if she says, yes, I see what I've become, I reject it, whatever, whatever. Without that extra emotional push, I'm not sure that, like, even if I believe that she means it in the moment, I'm not sure if I can trust that it'll last, if that makes sense. Okay, Hallmark movie levels of miracle emotion is what we're going for here. Hopefully. We'll do nothing, except tell you that I'm sorry. I did not realize that the Mandalorian Wars would hurt others that had known me and cared for me.
It does not matter. Not now. It is what I did with such pain that caused the wound. But I thank you.
Is it just me, or do the Sith holocrons sound angrier?
Leave now, while you can. Save Telos. Save the galaxy. Save yourself. No, I could not bring myself to tell her. It would have changed nothing. And because I was afraid. You know what lies at the heart of Malachor 5. I had thought it was in the past, yet it has become the future. And all that has happened there will happen again. And that is why I cannot bear it. Because it is Malachor 5. And because she was lost there once. And I fear she will be lost again. I do not understand why the Sith permit such teachings to exist. They cause only echoes, wounds in the Force. A beacon? For who?
Nothing good. Sith holocrons don't like therapy. Yep. Beacon for whoever's in that shuttle, I would imagine. I am become droid again. I'm so confused. I love plot points and never get resolved. Seriously? We never find out? That's some bullshit. Hang on. Take notes, because I'm definitely going to need this lore. I'm going to do a whole study review session before. Wait. KOTOR 3 that never happened? Beacon shit? That was for KOTOR 3. Aw, damn. Just no. That's got to be a game bug, right? I switched from Atros to Kreia halfway through the conversation. Wait, what? Oh, Jesus. HK is 10 levels behind the rest of the party. HK mod? As in, not a part of the, or part of the restored content mod, I'm guessing? Yeah, I figure if I've got 10 levels to level him up, then I can probably get him. I should be able to get him fully on whatever Master Flurry for guns is. Or blasters, excuse me. Don't know what I'm doing with him, but it occurred to me at the last second I might need security for him. Oh shit. I know I've asked you guys this question before, but it's been a while. Does Constitution actually do anything for droids? Does it still increase hit points? Because they can't use implants, right? So I'm assuming it's more like KOTOR 1? As far as, like, usefulness goes? Just health? Okay. Thank you. Still, we'll take him up to a 14, I think. I do have energy shields, this is true. Oh. Oh, I thought I had... There's Master Rabbit Shot. Look like you could use some touch-up paint there, HK. Looking a little faded. I'm guessing since this is where I was planted, this is where I was supposed to go.
Statement. The turbolift has been accessed, but no organics or hostiles have been detected entering the complex. Query. Is there a sensor malfunction? Irritated statement. The probability of such a malfunction is extremely low. Order. Run a scan of all units within the complex. Processing. Scan commencing. Result. Only HK units detected. Premonition. Something is wrong. Very wrong.
How does a droid have premonition? HK-47, you've infiltrated the hidden HK factory on Telos. Find a way to get to the manufacturing facility so you can destroy the HK-50s as their choice. I completely forgot that I had not touched his gear in a long ass time. Not laser beams, maser beams. I don't even know what that is. DC-14 knockdown is interesting. It says incompatible with modern upgrades, but it also says fully upgradable. Okay. To 25 and a +1 attack modifier, not half bad. Maybe I'll give him the knockdown one as his other weapon. Battle upgrade is good. Battle upgrade is better than the current, and I think the best I've got. Holy shit. Carbonite emitter, paralyzed 100% for 15 seconds. DC 20 for half damage, paralyzed reduced to 9 seconds. That's still brutal. The ion thing doesn't list a different damage amount against droids. So if it's 20 points against everything, even like droids and humans alike, then arguably the carbonite emitter is the better one to go with because it does double the damage. The only reason that wouldn't be the case is if the ion one actually does more than 20 points of damage against droids and it just doesn't say that. I don't know why I switched the Ion Striker to the other side instead of... I don't know. I still don't really know how defense relates to dexterity. Because it doesn't seem to be directly related. There was something I was trying where raising and lowering my dex was not changing my defense by the amount that I assumed it would, based on the change in my dex modifier, so I don't know. Oh, his current defense is 41, so he's basically okay there. Yeah, the reflex saves I think are more important on that one. That's good. Unity grid. Got all the super OP droid stuff because I never take the droids out. I imagine he feels pretty good to... I was gonna say something to the effect of, like, get his swords bloody, but since he's not... doesn't have a sword, I was gonna say blaster, but then that doesn't make sense either, so I'm just giving up for now. I assume blowing up the reactor core would blow up the whole building, right? I have the spikes for it. Thank you, T3. Level looks to be a sub-level to the military base. Extensive droid manufacturing facility located on the level below. Okay, so I need to go down. Manufacturing facility, however, sealed off with security doors. These doors can only be opened if there's an emergency drop in power or if the manufacturing facility is threatened. Broken down in 3 separate centers. Munitions center, control center, and reactor core. Military tracking, Tilo surface, atmosphere communications. Like it also governs all the communications taking place in the complex. Be useful. Testing droid operations, construction, maintenance. Backup reactor core to the level above. Okay. Also regulates power to the manufacturing. Ah, that might be the ticket. Regulates power to the manufacturing plant below. Okay, well, it's a fun little side mission there. However, fortunately, that is where I'm going to have to leave it for tonight because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm mental faculties going to sleep very quickly. Next time, HK Factory, depending on how long that takes. Malachor 5? Yeesh. Scary but intriguing. So many mysteries, oh my god. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was so much fun. I'm sorry about the YouTube lag. I took a screenshot of the error so I can Google it. Hopefully I could get it more reliably fixed for next week. Excuse me. Thank you for being here, son. And everybody else too. I very much appreciate it. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll be back next Monday. If not sooner. My Wednesday actually ended up surprisingly empty because of D&D rescheduling. It would have to be an early and shorter stream because I work stupid early for me. Normal time for most people on Thursday, but there is a possibility of a midweek stream on Wednesday, maybe. Drop Discord link in the chat again in case anybody isn't on there who would like to be. If I do end up doing a midweek stream, I'll give you guys 30 to 40 minutes heads up beforehand to let you know. I have to just play it by ear. But you come to say goodnight too? How sweet. Ghost came to say goodnight. We love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, big time. We hope you guys have a fantastic week. If I don't see you Wednesday, then I will definitely see you next Monday. Till then, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will see you guys again soon for more HK adventures and crazy cinematic mysteries.